Never thirsty. Never thirsty.
Yes, y'all.
Again.
There it is. Yes, y'all. Never thirsty, folks. Welcome. We are live. I am Stu Stone, aka Jitty Bambino, aka The Jid. And the number one message here before we go any further is whoa. Things are getting really wild here. The number one thing here is that we are never thirsty around here. The audio sounds like crap, but we're never thirsty around here. I'll tell you that, because wherever we go, or me specifically, I carry a beverage literally with me, usually a peach Snapple, maybe a nice cold one if it's in a glass bottle, vitamin water, something delicious. It's definitely WireFang's Dusseldorf mic making that noise. And the good news is that I am not alone. Other people are with me on this. And if you're thirsty, you're just being desperate. But don't do that. Don't do that. With me is a guy who is the last, the greatest, the only, the first, the B-boy himself, Mr. NVRThirsty, Mr. Neffy Neff. What's up, Neff? How are you, man?
Everything's all right. I can't
sound
complain.
Choppy? Is my sound choppy or?
It may be choppy to you, but it sounds good to me.
Oh, it sounds good to you. All right.
Oh, no. But then I sound, WireFang says trash. WireFang says trash.
I mean, listen, we're working hard here. Is that better? Is that
sounds good to me, but I don't know how WireFang feel about it on his side.
Yeah,
it's okay.
This thing is pretty funky today, but have you had a nice week there, Neffy, over there in New York?
Yesterday was my birthday, brother.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, yesterday's my birthday.
I guess we're not Facebook friends, because then I would have known.
No, we're Instagram friends, not Facebook.
Yeah, but on Instagram they don't get like, That's funny. First of all, happy birthday.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
First of all, happy birthday.
I appreciate you.
You look great for 25. You look good.
Nice.
And I see you got your styrofoam cup. What's in the cup? We don't know.
Oh no, this is sponsorships.
Oh, Red Bull.
Red Bull
gives you wings. I had an incident this week where Facebook went down, and so did Instagram, and so did WhatsApp. If you use that, if you're shout out to KB.
I use all of them.
Okay, so all of that was like turned off, and that was on October the 4th. I know that because a really important birthday of someone that's one of my good friends. Obviously, I didn't even know it was your birthday, and you are my good friend. So happy birthday to you. We got that out of the way.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man. So my buddy Phil Glasser, Philly G, my original, I would want to say even rap partner, Phil Glasser. He was the voice of Fievel in the American Tail movies. Do you remember the American Tail?
I do.
Fievel the Mouse. So he was the voice of Fievel the Mouse. So he and I were roommates when I moved to LA, et cetera, et cetera. Long story. We don't have time. But it was his birthday on October the 4th. I should know that because he's my friend for like 25 years. And like, I should know when his birthday is. And because Facebook was down for the day, I didn't know it was anybody's birthday because I have relied on technology instead of using my own memory to remember something like my good friend's birthday. But, then I did and that just showed me because I'm so reliant on Facebook that I fucked up. I owe $5. I'm sorry. I messed up. I'm sorry about that. We're getting better around here. There's a swear jar. If you ever see a swear, I guess Cable Guy Jeff should just beep out if we swear, because then people will be able to keep score at home how much everyone has put $5 into the swear jar.
Shout out Cable Guy Jeff real quick.
Big up, Cable.
So anyway, don't be so reliant on technology is the point, because look what happened a day without it. I'm sure there was a lot of thirsty people, Neff, that were like, what am I going to do? I can't take a picture of my sandwich and my selfie, and I just Facetune myself, and how am I going to get it? Like their whole life revolves, and here I am friggin' doing this and being like, smash, subscribe, click like, but it's different. I promise I'm different. I promise you I am different than those people. But you know what I'm saying? Like I could go a
I
day
do.
without my Instagram, but
I
there
didn't
are
know it was down.
yeah, it was down.
No, I mean I didn't know it was down till after the fact.
Right. Well,
Like
because
someone like, yo,
you're a busy person who actually has real things to do. So
I didn't know it was even down. So shout out to Instagram for not
listen, there are days
messing my life up. Damn.
there are days when I ate something I shouldn't have eaten. And there are days when I'm sure you have too. We had that extra milkshake we shouldn't have. Those are days where I end up spending a lot of time the next day on social media because anyway, moving on.
I got the terrible punchline.
Yes, we have a let me hit that. There it is. Oh, we're not okay. WireFang is in Dusseldorf, Germany. Let's say hi to WireFang. We took too long. How are you, Mr. Fang? How's it going over there in Dusseldorf, Germany?
It's good. I did a DJ set at Boobs in Munich. I tested our song Acapulco Gold on the dance floor, and it was a big hit out here in Dusseldorf. Check out Acapulco Gold on Spotify
Right now.
Yeah, he's talking about WireFang, and I have a bunch of songs, Neff, that are available. WireFang, he secretly has been putting out this music that people might not even know. They should check it out. But his music's on TikTok; it's everywhere.
WireFang featuring Legitty.
WireFang is a sneaky dude.
Yes,
he makes moves. Somehow he got us to commit to doing this show, and I'm happy he did because I'm having a good time. Are you having a good time?
I'm having a ball every time we talk. Wait, is our guest waiting for us? Oh no.
No, and I'm assuming
so we can talk still.
Yeah, sure. You got something?
We can chop it up.
Yeah, I haven't really. I did most of the talking last episode. I feel like you got some stuff. You got some stuff to say. I owe $10.
No, listen. I like you lead the witness.
I hope you just put it down, WireFang. Like you should just mark it now so you don't have to do it. Okay. So cable guy, $10. Sorry, and we should come up with a sound like ching, maybe instead of a beep. Whenever it's a swear.
That
would be
good. And my viewers, you can hit the donate button. $5 every time Stu swear.
Yes. That's a good one. Please pay for Stu, fans.
I'm working blue today, boys. All right. So what did you want to talk about, Neff?
Well, we talked about KRS-One and Big Daddy Kane coming up.
We did, yes.
We did talk about that versus, so I don't want to get too deep into that because
it seems like versus has become this cultural. It has transcended. It's now become a bigger, more mainstream. It's arrived. It's a brand. It's a thing. It's something
it's
that
a pandemic baby.
And I would say that there's a few sort of things that, especially from hip hop too, that I can think of. One of them is verses, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say, how am I being so stupid right now? Who's the Swiss Beats? I feel like Swiss Beats. That's his. Did he start verses?
I think him and Timberland.
Did
it together, and it became a monster out here.
Right.
There was a pandemic relief situation. It was birthed out of necessity, like hip hop was.
Because I remember the first ones though were just like guys in a studio. Like I saw Gucci versus somebody. I remember
the RZA versus Premier.
RZA Premier. That was a good one. That was a great one. Then I remember watching those, but those were like guys were on Zoom or they were in a studio together. But now it's like a concert experience at Madison Square Garden in the theater there, right?
Evolution.
Yeah,
it evolved rapidly like a Pokemon.
And it's not the only. That's not the only thing that's come out of there. D Nice, if I'm not mistaken, the DJ. He's playing Hollywood Bowl now. Like this guy he was just DJing on Instagram.
He was the first to do it when we
NVRThirsty
is coming.
D Nice is making more money now. He's probably been in the game 30, 40 years. And that's like, he's been around. And he's now probably making more money than he ever has. It's like he's playing the Hollywood Bowl. Do you know what that means? That's a big venue. That's like, and he sold it out. He sold it out.
In Dusseldorf, D Nice is a legend. He produced Self-Destruction.
Oh yeah, of course.
He's a
Listen,
legend.
D-Night's a legend here too. He a legend everywhere.
Of
Him,
course.
KRS.
I'm just saying, like, he's a guy that, like, the pandemic really worked for him.
Listen, it worked. Listen, the pandemic invented this type of podcast that we're doing right now.
Yeah.
This
well,
is
Zoom
really
didn't exist. Remember how quickly Zoom just became a thing? Here's a good edit point. Remember how quick Zoom became a thing? It's like we didn't know what Zoom was, and then the next day we all knew what Zoom was. Have you ever seen a company take over quicker than Zoom? Okay, never. I've never seen anything like it because Skype was around and Facebook, you could message people and all sorts of FaceTime is on your phone. And all of a sudden the pandemic happened and it was like we're all locked down. The next day, everybody had a Zoom and everybody's on Zoom and on poker and now TV shows, they're having Zoom and Zoom. It's like they were ready. It's like all I want to do is Zoom, and a boom, boom. They were ready.
shout out to K7. That's my homeboy. I have like 4 records with K7, so shout out to K7.
You know what I'm saying though? Like a year ago, what was Zoom? It wasn't even a thing. That goes to show you how quickly. Look at that, man. Overnight.
No, out of necessity.
But
People
Zoom
want to party, they want to do things.
Zoom wasn't invented overnight though, Neff.
No.
That's like a real technology, something, or it's like a real thing that had to be developed and built. Like, how did they become the thing?
I'm gonna tell you how.
How did you hear about Zoom?
Well, I knew about Zoom before that, but I'm a tech junkie, so that's
right. Okay, my bad.
But Zoom was people over 35, 40, they hate the internet. The internet is like computers are still super far into them. So out of necessity, they were in the house and they're like, oh my God, what do I do now? What's easier to say than Zoom? A 50-year-old woman or man saying Zoom. Not Facebook, and go through the app. It says Zoom. Everyone's using it, and it became the easy thing to do. Not the better thing, not necessarily, but it was easy for those 45 and up.
So you think it's like the grandparents wanting to talk to the grandchildren?
Yes, they joined the fray.
But all of those grandparents already FaceTime.
Not really. I know flip phone
but then people started having Zoom birthday parties. You know, like at the beginning of the pandemic, people had drive-by birthday parties and not in the drive-by like sense that like how it usually would use. I'm talking about like a pandemic drive-by sense where it's like you roll down the window, "Happy birthday, Susan!" She's just standing there waving to people and they're holding up signs and like honking.
Out of necessity, the old people, when I say old, I mean just over 40, had to join the social media platforms. They had to do it all at once.
Yeah.
We thought March, we were all going to die. We're wearing masks. We're going to die. The government is shutting us down.
Yeah.
We're going to die. Let's speak to everyone.
I thought I was going to die if I left my apartment.
Yeah.
I thought, like, when I went into the elevator, first of all, WireFang, this guy still, like, never takes off his mask. But I'm saying that you're like, I have a N95 and I have a thing and I have like this and I have rubber gloves and I'm in the store and I'm wiping all the groceries when I get inside. I don't want to be near somebody because nobody knew, so it was like an unknown thing. Anyway, go ahead.
The guest is here?
The guest is here. So it's good to stop. It's good to stop a funny Zoom conversation before we get into like pandemic theories. It's a good place to put it on the table. But let's invite a head of the table. We got a guy that deserves to sit at the head of the table that's going to step up and sit with us right now and talk. And he is a producer. And I see in Dusseldorf, they say up nexty. Please welcome to the show, Kacey Khaliel.
Yo.
Kacey.
Yo, what up, man?
How are you, man?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing, man?
Nice to meet you, man. I'm Stu. That's Neff. You know WireFang?
Yeah, what's up, man? How y'all doing?
So are you in the studio right now?
Yeah, I'm in my studio. I just came over here just to knock out a few meetings and stuff. Y'all one of the meetings.
Yeah, that's great. So there's so much to ask in so little time. I mean, your story is very remarkable in the sense that we were just talking about Zoom and how it just came out of nowhere. I mean, you could probably parallel that type of success to a guy like yourself, because I'm sure you didn't just start doing this yesterday. You were building this thing up, and then all of a sudden there was something happened in your life that was like that switch that like took it from I want to do this to I'm doing this. Like, is there a moment?
It kind of was like just more focus, and just each opportunity that came, I just tried to capitalize on it, you know?
Right. So when did you start? You're a producer, right? So when did you start? What was the thing that drew you to hip hop? There's a whole generation of kids that looked up to Superman and Batman. I feel like our age, we looked up to like Biggie and Pac. It's like,
yeah, no facts.
So what was the first thing that connected you that you were like, okay, this is for me?
Honestly, just the love of it. I kind of got like addicted to making beats. Like I started doing beats. My brother, he had a class program for his Spanish class where he had to like make a beat, make your own music, and he put the program Fruity Loops on the computer at home. Yeah, and I just started messing with it more than him, and I just got like addicted to it and started working, started selling beats in school, and it was a wrap from there.
So what were you charging for beats in school?
$100.
Wow, that's big money. What? That's like literally $100 when you're in school. Is like
try doing this at 10 high schools in Sacramento.
So that's what you were doing?
Yes.
So you became quickly like the king of Sacktown.
I never had a job, bro. I've been selling beats ever since I learned how to make them. Just going from high school. I used to be on the bus. Just after high school, I'd go to one high school, go to the next one, because there's rappers at every different school. They all got little jobs at Foot Locker and stuff. So $100, that's nothing. You count it up. You do that 10 times at 5 different high schools, you got a bag.
Wait, so this is incredible. That could be a movie. So you literally went on the bus and just like got off at each high school, then got back on and go to the next one. There's enough rappers to go around to keep selling beats to everybody?
Yeah, for sure, because everybody wanted to rap, because like there was like a few popping artists in our city, so everybody wanted to get to that. And they're not super famous, but they famous in the city.
Yeah. Sure.
So it's like they getting paid for shows and little teen clubs and stuff. So all the teen club rappers, I used to go to the teen club, and any rapper that performed at the teen club, I always tap in with them, be like, yo, if you need beats, tap in with me. Always sold them a beat. Like I never failed. Always scored.
Amazing. Is there any of those tracks from the early days that like could be a track that maybe some huge artist could have cut, or is there like one real special one that like
from back in the day?
Yeah. Is there like one that you can think of?
I did a song back in the day with one of my boys from our city. It was like Paul Wall and Short Dog, but that was like in high school, and so yeah. But I guess that was like an old song that kind of was like big. I guess it was called I don't even remember the name of that song, honestly. I'll find it right now. Hold on.
And
what'd you start making beats on first?
Fruity Loops. I still make beats on Fruity Loops to this day.
So you're loyal to Fruity Loops?
Heck yeah, man. I never changed. I mean, I know how to work on different programs just because I've worked with other producers, and I try not to just be, black out on everything. So I know how to work different programs, but I stick to Fruity Loops,
Why?
You said why?
Yeah.
Because they got the secrets on there. Other producers that get on Fruity Loops, because they got Fruity Loops 11 and they got 20. If you're staying on 11, I know why. And other producers know why too.
So 11 is the sweet spot.
Is that the secret? That's the secret.
You just gave a jewel today. All right.
11, heck yeah. I mean, a lot of producers know 11. 11 definitely it's a sweet spot for sure. Just because it's ways that they just have things that they added on that Fruity Loops that, I mean, they got the same thing on the new Fruity Loops, but it's like it's easier. It's like it's more just straight to the point instead of having a million different things you got to go through to find, the little knobs you need to turn certain sounds up, EQ certain stuff.
Mm-hmm. Right. Wait, so just I want to rewind for a second. So who was the first artist? Like you that was like your first
like favorite, a major placement?
Yeah, like your first favorite rapper. Like you had to at some point in your life. There was like some music that came on that was like, okay, hip hop. That's my thing. Like
I took a music class in like junior high, and you want to know something crazy? It was Common. Like my bro, like the teacher, he had played Common, I Used to Love Her. And that still is my favorite song to this day.
That's a song. That's
amazing. That's a great jam.
Common, I Used to Love Her. Like, real, just the vibe was just, it just felt good. And that's, that's an East Coast record. So, like, I'm from the Bay. So, but that made me want to keep making music.
That's really crazy. So going from hitting the bus and going and selling into the high school. So like there's obviously it elevates from there. Like, is it like the right guy pops off that you got to track to, or you just you started getting a reputation? Was there that first big hand that came out to offer you like come on ride with us? Was that Nipsey?
Honestly, like when I not till I left Sacramento. When I was in Sacramento, I really wasn't even like thinking about taking beats serious. Like I was just making beats, making some money. For me, buying shoes, I had every shoe, every Jordan, just like kid stuff. But I met Drummer Boy on Twitter. Drummer Boy reached out to me on Twitter, and I hit him up, and he was like, I need some beats. So I hit him, sent him some beats. It was fire, and he ended up giving me like one of my first placements with 8Ball and MJG.
Wow.
And it was a song called "Smoking on the Loud."
Wow, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
And so was that like the moment where it sort of changed for you right there? Like after that, did the phone just start ringing after that comes out, or it's still a grind?
No, it wasn't even that. Like the phone really didn't start ringing until like years later, because like I didn't really start taking beats serious until I got an opportunity. The football player Deshaun Jackson, he actually gave me my first opportunity when I was like 18. He's the one who moved me out to LA. I met him through I was staying in an apartment complex in LA, and I was just like selling weed out of there, just chilling. Every time he'll come in and like one of his boys, his cousin, to come in like buy some weed from me or something, I'll be making beats, and he'll just be like, man, these beats is hard. Like my cousin, he played football, he might want to invest into you, he might want to. And I'm thinking they cap you. I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't know him. I'm not even into football, so I really don't even know who Deshaun Jackson is at the time, But it ended up working out. I linked up with him. He took my work, and we just worked out some. And he was like buying beats from me at first, and then he was like, when I go back to season, I'm gonna sign you. And then he did. Like right before he went back to season, he signed me and moved me out to LA.
That's crazy. So okay, so now you said that you weren't taking beats seriously. So what were you doing? Like, what was your
Hussle?
What were you? Is just selling?
Still like I did a bunch of stuff. I'm just like involved in a bunch of stuff. Like I've always been like real popular in high school. So like whether it was getting a popping artist to go perform at a show, and I was the one to put it together, and I put like $500 or $1,000 on top. You know what I mean? I just had a bunch of different type of plays, like selling kicks, selling tennis shoes. Like just a bunch of stuff, but the beats, when I got that opportunity, that was the most bread I ever seen in my life. And, it's an opportunity, moved me out to LA. So I was like, I'm going to really start taking beats serious, but really taking it serious. I went and learned all the business about it, first before I like really got into it.
So that hustle mentality that you have, does that's obviously still helps you today, because navigating your way through the music industry has got to be insane, especially now when there's just so much more. There's triple the artists than there used to be. There's so much out there.
No, facts. You got to just have a plan and stay focused and stick to your plan. You got to know if you're going to take music serious, just as an artist, as a producer, you got to know everything it is and know about it. You can't just go in here like just always dream, always have your hopes and dreams and stuff, but it's like have your stuff together too, so you can be able to execute these dreams when the opportunities present itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
great advice, brother.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the artists that you've got a chance to collaborate and work with. I know, like, especially during pandemic and stuff like that, and probably before that, a lot of what's going on thanks to technology is that you could have been in Sacramento and sent a track to somebody in Detroit who put something on it and sends it to someone in LA and they jump on. I'm sure a lot of that still exists, but was there like that session where you were the producer, called in, and like some artist that we all know is like in the room, and that's your first time sort of being the big guy on the desk? It's like, what was that session?
I don't even know if I even had one of those sessions. It was just like random flukes at different times. Like, cause you gotta think I'm with the football player. So with him, he's traveling all around the world. And at that time, Deshaun was young, so he used to bring his whole camp with him everywhere we went. So everywhere we go, I'm just gaining relationships with different people, and different stuff. So I might drop some beats off here, and then this will get plays. So now I got to reach out to my lawyer, get the paperwork done, get this done. I'm just learning the business, trial and error as I go, But the first one that kind of like cracked that made sense to me was I did Bounce for Chris Brown Amigos. and that was at a time when Chris Brown and Migos like they first met on the tour on the One Hell of a Night tour, and I was the only like producer like in that circle at the time. So one night we was in the studio and I ended up getting like all of the songs with like they all got on like 4-5 of my beats. And
Wow, that must have been a crazy night.
Yeah, heck yeah. So like, well, it was through my boy Smoke and my boy Kid Red at the time. They both was working with Chris Brown, so they was like locking me in with them like, yo, send us some beats. We in tour, we on tour, we in the studio, you know. So yeah, I was just sending beats, and I ended up scoring. The song is called Bounce. That one took off, and that's the one like when my name and my tag start circulating.
Right. So how'd you come up with your tag?
That's me saying that. I just said it when I was young. Yeah, that's me. I just said it and it just stuck.
Why not? If it ain't broke.
Yeah, it just kept flowing, you know. So it was cool.
That's insane. So you're like Chris Brown and Migos are like jumping on several tracks and you're just like, at the end of that day, are you just like, wow, what's happening?
No, I was trying to get him to come out because I'm sitting back. I'm like, how this work? Like, are they gonna put it out? Like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. So, and it took a minute for him to come out too. Like, it took them like a year just because they recorded the songs while they was on tour. So, you know, I wasn't used to like records being done and then going through a process. And then I'm thinking artists just drop songs and put them out the next day and they blow up and we all famous. You know, I'm not knowing how this shit works. So,
which is really how it doesn't work, but it seems like it's like that more and more now. People just go in the studio, they record something that day, it's out that night.
It works like that sometimes, you know, but just in this situation, it just wasn't like that. Yeah,
well, of course, there's like artists like that. You're dealing with, that's corporate.
But then also that's when I start learning the business about producers too, because when you start dealing with these bigger artists, you realize that like a lot of producers don't produce for them. So once they start hopping on these records, that's when you got to start dealing with the A&Rs and the managers. It's like, oh, well, who produced this song? Like, is it one of the producers we already worked with? Is it going to be easier? Do we got to do new business? You know, it's like they got to start tapping it with you. So that's
and I'm sure there's like a 70 hands in every pocket also when these things are.
No, for sure. I mean, like if you don't got your business together, for sure they're gonna come for you. So you got to just make sure you know what you're talking about. Make sure you got the right people in front of you.
Did you have to get taken advantage of to learn that lesson, or did you learn that from just sort of being around and keeping your eyes and ears open?
I didn't really get bit too hard. I had like one situation where they like sent me over a producer deck just like for a song, and basically a producer deck is just like the thing that the label gonna send you as soon as you get a placement, which is dope, you know, it's cool. But if you sign this producer deck, just know that they got control over controlling the long agreement, the long form of the record that's about to come out that they're presenting to you. They're saying, but they're sending you the producer deck, basically saying like you made it, like you know you're on the project, but you can't get excited about that. Send that to your lawyer, have them take care of the long agreement. It may take like a couple of weeks, maybe a month, 2 months at the max, but at least you know you're gonna be done right. You're gonna get paid what you want, you know.
Yeah. So you're lucky because I'm sure a lot of horror stories, especially with new artists come in or new producers come in, and it's like, oh, this song blows up. They got paid $500, and they're like,
yeah. I'm not gonna say what song, but I had one song like that. I told you I signed the producer deck. I didn't know they sent it to me. I'm like, oh, I got the art. It's good. I just signed it, send it back to them. It came like because they had told me they was like, oh, it's only gonna be on the mixtape. It came out on the album, bro. Hell yeah. I'm like, but I already signed the shit. So it's like,
wow. So
I was like, man.
It happens to everybody. It's glad that's you got it over early. How old are you now?
I just turned 28.
Wow, you got your whole life ahead of you, man.
Yeah, you know,
you've already done so much already at 28. You know, 28 is actually like the prime. You can ask Deshaun, I'm sure he'll tell you 28 is like the athletic prime of your life. Like
30 is a new 20, man. It's crazy.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Yeah. Are you still friends with Deshaun? Are you guys still in?
Yeah, heck yeah. I'm the CEO of his label now.
Well, there you go.
Crazy, right? Yeah, so.
Well, he's still playing. I was gonna just say, I just saw him last weekend. He had a big touchdown.
Yeah, come on. You know he beating records, man. You know this don't stop. He doing his thing. I'm doing my thing. We both proud of each other. You know, we got a way better and a great business relationship now. You know, it's different. It's like it's a lot of respect, you know, on the table just for both of us. You know, so.
Well, it sounds like you're like really putting together, it sounds like you have a long-term sort of plan here. And that's not, I don't think that's by accident. It seems like you've always been, just getting to know you now, since a teenager, you've always had sort of like that long vision, right?
What, bro? Every spot you go into, you're going to see a whiteboard, bro. This one empty right now, but that one over here, this one full. You can see, I don't know if y'all can see that one. Oh, I got the little camera. Yeah, but that one full over there. Like, I got whiteboards, bro. I'll be planning it out, like, and I'm gonna execute for sure. I'm an executor,
So how about in the studio? What's the vibe like? Do you prefer being like alone, just you and an engineer, or do you have like a lot of friends in there? Is it some days you like it, sometimes you don't? Like, how does it work?
Sometimes I could work with a lot of people being in the studio because I just stay focused. I don't try to get distracted. I can smoke just like I'm smoking doing an interview right now. So I'm used to just working and staying consistent with stuff. So it's like I don't ever try to let anything drift my mind away from whatever my focus is at the moment.
There are some studios that have that sort of like clubhouse sort of vibe. Like that's I've had them. I'm sure you've been in them.
Oh, like club studios and stuff. Like
I'm like you're in the studio. There's like a party going on like every night in there. It's like
for sure, but sometimes that's how artists work because you got to think about it. We just a producer, so we gonna come in there. We gonna do our job, but the artists they might like the party. That might be how they record. They might like to record with 5 females in the booth at one time.
You had that happen?
Yeah, I mean, Brian seen some in these studios, so like, yeah.
Let's hear a story. Tell us one. You don't have to name names, but you can.
Man, y'all want to hear a funny story?
No, I want to hear like the saddest story.
The saddest story, bro. I had
no. Of course, I want the funny story. Yes.
Man, I'll give y'all one, man. I had one of my homies. He had this girl he had brought like in the studio. I don't know where she came from, like, and he was like in the booth. He go in the booth with her all night. He in the booth with her, and we like, yo, bro, we need to use the booth. Like, you gonna have to come out. Like, the artist trying to record. Bro, when I tell you, when he opened up the booth, the smell that hit the whole studio, we had everybody left, bro. I was like, yo, we out, bro. It was crazy, bro. Like, this is a real studio session, bro. Like,
this is a sad story, bro.
Man, sad story, bro. Like, I had to dinner in the whole session, bro. We was like,
without you even having to describe the smell, and I'm sure anybody listening already knows that. I can like,
I'm just like, come on, bro. Like, it's respect. Like, you don't do that in the studio, man. Like, go do that in the car, go somewhere else, man. Like,
yeah, sex has a very foul smell to it.
Nah, not like that.
Not like that, bro. This was different, bro. This was like, where you find her at?
No, go to the hospital immediately tomorrow.
Immediately, man.
Go see somebody.
Like, bro, I'm talking about the studio had to get aired out. Like, I'm gonna just say that. It had to get aired out.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, wow, bro.
That's a terrible.
Any artists that come in that have like weird sort of like demands, like their riders, like green M&Ms or
I mean, there's usually in a lot of major studios they usually have runners and stuff. So usually the artist is compensated with whatever they need, during the time while they're recording to be comfortable. But I never really seen like no crazy stuff. Like maybe the worst thing I ain't seen probably in studios I don't really care for too much is like artists they be going up on these engineers and that's ain't cool.
Yeah, no, that's the worst.
Yeah, that's really their job. It's like, and these artists, I don't know, sometimes they be trying to show off because it'd be other people in the room, but it ain't nothing cool about that at all. I'm saying that for everybody. It ain't nothing cool about turning up with an engineer.
I agree with you, and I think that they're like the engineer is sort of like the underappreciated guy in the whole equation because like the producer and the artist, everybody gets credit for the mixer. Everybody gets credit, and the engineer, obviously gets a credit, but nobody's celebrating the engineer. There's a good engineer and a bad engineer. There's a big difference there.
It's like a good barber. A good engineer is like a good barber.
But a good engineer can take a bad session and make it good, and a bad engineer can ruin a good session.
They like real talk. They the scientists. It's like we coming with the chemicals and stuff, but they know how to put it together. So it's like they the scientists. Y'all got to treat them with the most respect. You really want to build. It don't matter who touching your vocals. You want to build a cool relationship with them, But a lot of artists don't really get that. Like they be wanting to just get this done, get it fast. They used to recording with these other type of engineers. It's like get an engineer 5-10 minutes to learn how you record. Like just give them a second so you can kind of tap in with you. So
what about?
Y'all gonna be cool?
Say what?
I said they're gonna be cool.
No, yeah. And so this new generation now that's like even younger than you, I'm talking like
Yeah.
16, 17, 18, the new kids.
Yeah.
These kids, I mean, you probably had it easier than guys older than you, but the kids younger than you have it easier than anybody. It's like literally, it feels like it's very, very competitive. I know I mentioned there's like a million artists. I can only imagine how many people are making beats now. I mean, is there a
Yeah, no,
difference
definitely.
between someone who makes beats and someone who makes songs? Is there a difference?
Yeah, there's a big difference in people who make beats and music producers. Music producers are producing actual records, so they're actually going to whatever length they got to do to be able to get this record to sound how it needs to sound the best way, so it can be able to get out to the people. That's a real music producer. Beat maker, and there's nothing wrong with beat makers either, because it's levels to it. You might have to be a beat maker first before you get to a producer. I know I was. So you got to learn. So yeah, but it's like. It's definitely a lot of dope producers out there, it's like, but it's definitely a big difference. So, producers might come in and just lay the skeleton. You might need a real producer to come in there and orchestrate its structure, to be able to get the song to sound how it needs to sound.
Right.
I know people that aren't even the great at making beats, but they got an ear for structure,
Sure.
so they'll come in. And you, the producer, you might have 10 plaques, you feel me, hella hits, whatever, but it might be somebody else to come in like, y'all, no, I need to be like this, so. And
Now, if
that's
that
what
person comes in and if that person comes in and makes a suggestion that you used, now do they want credit and money also?
for sure, but it all depends on relationships, and how it's worked out, who's in the room. They're not gonna call anybody in the room, so
Right.
it just depends. It's like it's a lot of
Nowadays,
politics.
does it feel like you get into a studio session, you have to like lock the door with padlocks to avoid people coming in and
Nah, we ain't in them days no more. It's like we know who coming in these studios, but it's just a matter of if everybody in the room respects whoever's coming in the room's opinion.
right.
Yeah, that's really
And
what's
there's
going
I'm
on.
sure like armchair quarterbacks all the time, like some random person's in there and like you're working on something, they're like, hey, that horn should be this way, and you're like,
Nah, what it be the worst is whenever I see artists come in there, or sometimes I even see producers doing. It's like, if you make the beat going, let the artist do their thing. Don't be in there trying to hum hooks and like thinking about verses. And for real, artists hate that, bro.
There is nothing worse.
Yeah, they gonna hate that. See, you know what I'm talking about, bro. They gonna hate that.
Are you talking about a hook hummer?
Bro, listen, the beat gonna
no
come
room
on.
for hook hummers.
Bro, they trying to show their full talents, man. The floor is on the floor, like for real. They trying to show everything. They like, I can write hooks, everything for you, bro. Like,
you're not coming to my
let
session.
them do their thing. You did your part. Let them do their 50%.
We all know hook hummers.
On my life, bro. Let them do that.
I think we just invented a new term, a hook hummer. It's
hook
like
hummers, bro.
The hook hummers over here, like people in the back going like,
man, take your ass out the studio, bro. Let us finish this. We gonna call you back in. We got this.
Go play ping pong.
For real, bro. Go chill. Go order food. Runners here. It's an arcade in the back. It's a pool table. Yeah, it's females. Like, man, chill. Smoke.
Let me ask you a question. What do you feel? How you feel about loops, splice producers? How do you feel about them?
I don't really see nothing wrong with it, because at the end of the day, it's like if you providing whatever you providing to the beat, you're providing to the beat. So like most people I lock in with, I'm not one of them producers that's gonna be like, oh, well, you only gave me the loop, so I'm gonna give you 5%. Bro, we did it together, we splitting it down the middle. Like for real, we knocking it out back to back to back. But
so
I'm also not doing beats with just anybody.
Right.
So it's like if I'm gonna split 25% down the middle, I'm about to give it to my brother who I grew up with. You feel me? Or my bro.
How does that work though? How does that work with like Splice and like Fruity Loops and all this type of stuff? Like, are you allowed to just use whatever you want and put out? Like, how does that work?
Splice, I know that they're royalty free. You gotta just pay. Like it's like a monthly thing to just pay. But a lot of people just be flipping loops, bro, that you can't even tell like who it is nowadays.
Right.
Like that's honestly that's when the real producing comes in. If you can flip that, then you're real, that's when your genius card kind of come out, because now you know the game, you know how to make this sound different so that nobody gets in trouble. It's like it's a real game to that, but.
So before we wrap up, who's the GOAT of Sacktown? Who's like the big artist? out of
In
Sac.
Sacktown, you are. I mean, I know the whole majority of the world know Mozzie holding it down, you know. But it's a lot of dope
Definitely.
upcoming artists coming out of Sacramento. Like Sacramento is it's a lot of talent coming out of Sacramento. It's always been talent coming out of Sacramento. Like we definitely
Are
got
you
our
still
own
there,
sound.
or you're out of there now?
I've been out of Sacramento for a couple of years, but I always go back and forth. You know, I never leave the city. Like I'm actually going back there on the 20th for a show. Blue Bucks and Bino got a show out there. So
Nice.
whenever like any artist I work with touch down the city, you know, I always go show face, make sure everybody's, you know, in rooms, make sure everybody get FaceTime with everybody, make sure you know it's love.
No, I love it. Listen, man, I think that this is great. I'm so happy that we got a chance to meet. And I think, listen, we do this show all the time. If you ever want to come back and just shoot with each other again, I think we have probably a ton more to talk about. And why not? So you should keep us posted on stuff. You ever want to promote anything, or just you have a story you want to tell? We are here to listen. We're good listeners.
Yeah, most def, man. Shout out for tapping me in with y'all, man.
Yeah, that's our producer. The executive producer.
So and people can check you out obviously on social media. It's just on the bottom of the screen there, and we'll look forward to catching up with you soon, man. Don't be thirsty, man. Always stay hydrated.
No, facts, man. Always, man. Tap in with me, bro.
All right, we will.
You guys.
Take care, man. That was great.
Right.
That was great. You know, it's nice to meet. Yeah. Of course. It's nice to meet a new friend, we'll call it. And talented kid. I'm old enough to say talented kid, but obviously he's a grown ass man. But it's quite inspiring. I think that his come up story, I love it. Yeah. It's just I love that. That's success doesn't happen by accident. You know, I mean, look at me. I don't even consider myself successful. I have 100 credits, and I'm still trying to make stuff happen. You know, it's hard. And this guy is he's young. He's doing great. I'm really excited for him. It was really nice to meet him. So thanks to WireFang for that. And Neff, you look nice. Did you get your hair done up today, or?
No, I'm getting a haircut as soon as I get off this thing.
Oh, there you go, because it's Friday.
It's Friday.
Yeah. We've established that's when you like to get your haircut. Yeah. I got it wrong last week.
But if you keep it nice, people will be able to tell really if you got one or you didn't get one.
So is that when I see you wearing a hat, does that mean you haven't been to the barber?
It's a tragedy up there.
Oh, really? So is that like a real thing? Like if I ever see Neff in a hat, it's like
I'm not fresh.
Wow. So you're never with a hat when you are fresh.
No. When I'm fresh, I like to have my line looking right. Show it off a little bit. Let people know everything's everything. Right now it's not fresh exactly. It's still
so you wearing a hat is the equivalent of like a girl having her hair in a ponytail.
No day. Let's not even make that in the comparison. But what I'm gonna say, me wearing a hat just means I don't got a cut. You know what I'm saying?
Have a great weekend, Neff.
No comparison.
I will speak to you. No. I don't want to get in any more trouble today. So we will move past that one. And
that's all good.
It's a Canadian Thanksgiving coming up. So happy Thanksgiving to our Canadians that it's coming up. So we're thankful for you.
You eat moose or turkeys?
Definitely not moose.
Never mind.
And that's about it. WireFang, Dusseldorf. Shout out to Cable Guy Jeff and to all the people who watch, listen. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like all that stuff that you're supposed to do in these things.
That button.
And always stay hydrated. This has been Never Thirsty. See you next time.
Peace. Never thirsty. Never thirsty.